Today, guys, we're going to help you learn how to best optimize your Patreon page by taking a look at my own Patreon page with Peter Hollins. He knows a lot about this kind of stuff. He's going to help both of us coming up right after this. Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer and welcome to another episode of Video Creators. This channel is all about helping you guys grow your YouTube audiences so you can spread a message that changes lives. And today I'm really excited to get an evaluation of my Patreon page to figure out how I can better turn this into a bigger part of my business here at Video Creators. And to help me with that is this guy, Peter Hollins. Hey Peter, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
There's multiple you.
There's lots of people watching this right now, so we're all doing great. So tell us a little bit about your channel, what you do on YouTube, and how you came to Patreon, and your involvement there. And then let's dig into my my Patreon.
You can find my work on YouTube by just typing in Peter, which is great, S-E-O. I think it was the third day Patreon had ever gone public. I actually had 2 or 3 fans on multiple platforms say, hey, I just found this really cool company. I want to support you on it. The second I went to the site and I understood the concept, which was completely new at the time, that Jack Conte and Sam came up with, the co-founders, I was just completely blown away. I started my account and I started just literally harassing them. I was like, I want to help. This is brilliant. How can I be a part of this? And so very quickly, I adopted it. I push it out at the end of my videos. And actually, eventually, Jack and Sam had me come on and be an advisor to the company.
And your Patreon page is doing pretty good, right?
Gosh.
Like, it's a pretty substantial part of your income, supports you and the work that you're doing, the way you're trying to serve creators and your audience as well.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing that my entire family can live off of my Patreon page alone.
That's awesome. People that love you that much. So let's look at mine though. What do you see here? So my goal here, Peter, is primarily, as you, I think everyone else knows, is like, how can I use this to, first of all, better serve the people who are in my community, who are learning to grow their channels and spreading messages that change lives, but also do that in a way that makes it sustainable for me to continue to serve them financially. So what do you see here?
Could you scroll down just so that everybody can see? You only have 2 reward tiers that are both, in my opinion, decently low considering the amount of information and the options that you have the ability to offer as either someone that has digital products, someone who can consult. I would literally sit down and brainstorm every single one of those different modules in your courses that you've ever done. Think about the possibility of breaking those up. Think about the possibility of each week giving access, to one module a week to a tier that's like $15 and above. I mean, basically like turning this into a subscription service that provides a tremendous amount of value. But unlike when people can go to your site and just buy these things in bulk, you're giving to them like once a week.
Yeah.
Another idea, and I know that's kind of convoluted because you have so much products available that you can.
I got lots of stuff I could sell and make a part of this. Yeah, you're right.
I would make it so that you have like a $3, a $10, something around like a 25, like so maybe something around 50, 75, and then maybe something more substantial around 150.
So is there a point where you have too many reward tiers? People just like, I don't know, or
absolutely. So that's another great point. I would grow it slowly, right? So you don't just throw down 9 reward tiers because people just get totally overwhelmed by too many options. I would say 5 is a really good number.
Okay, I only got 2, so I could add
so I would maybe double that to 4 and then see if maybe there's another reward tier at some level that you're like, oh, this might really work. So if you need to adjust a level because it doesn't make sense to you, I've done that numerous times and it's never been something that anyone's ever complained about. Truthfully, no one's ever complained once to me on Patreon about anything.
The main question I had about was like changing this on people, like, hey, you were paying $9 a month, surprise, $15 a month, or whatever. Like, how does that go over?
And that conversation needs to be a conversation, right? That needs to be like, hey guys, this is what I'm thinking. How does that make you feel? Is it okay if we do this? And if if everyone's up in a huge uproar, then maybe you just need to start a different tier and you can bite the bullet on that and put a cap. So moving forward, no one else can get that, and you can slowly push that cap out once people stop supporting. I want to tackle something that I think is much bigger, though. So let's go to the top of your page. I truthfully believe that it is incredibly important for it to be a per piece of content. The per month thing, in my opinion, just doesn't make sense.
So instead of paying a monthly fee for people who aren't interested or who might not be familiar, you can on Patreon. There's two options. You can pay someone on a monthly reoccurring fee, or you can pay them every time they publish a new piece of content.
I think it actually allows there to be more transparency between supporter and creator.
So if I'm going to switch to a per piece of content, one, that's more motivation for me to make sure I keep getting that content out, right? Because I don't get paid if I don't.
Right.
And which two helps serves the creator better for the money that they're contributing. But I feel like just by listening to you talk, it feels less like hey, I'm paying my monthly Netflix bill. Instead, it's more like, it feels like it's more personable. Like I'm paying, there's more tangible what I'm actually getting each time.
Absolutely. And yeah. I feel like this entire experience from a crowdfunding perspective, and why this is so different than a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo, is that this is all about really gracefully and hand-holding your community and you're fostering a community. And I think that's a much better way to do it. It's transparent. Everything needs to be transparent and real. My next question would be, on your videos on YouTube, do you tell your community about Patreon, or do you thank your current patrons who are supporting you at the end of your videos?
Probably not as often as I could or should. Like in this video, I do my news videos. One of the perks for the $3, I get more news stories. And so I say at the end of this video, I'll be like, if we actually have 3 other stories, I'll talk to you guys about this, that, and the other thing. I'll be posting those for those of you who are patrons or patreon.com/video creators. Thanks for your support. And that's kind of it. And then I keep going. I don't spend a lot of time.
Okay, I have a much better recommendation for you. So I think the entire pushing the concept of just the overall concept of pushing people behind a paywall to there's more content. I don't think that's as much. I don't think that's more successful than truthfully just thanking your current patrons who are supporting the content, and then just saying, if you guys want to know more about it, click right here. Also, I think a no-brainer level of support on a reward is including people's names at the end of the video, especially for it's almost like they're an associate producer of your content. So I would say you could very easily have a per content at a 50 or a 25 or a 35 or a 40 of, have your name at the end of every one of my videos, right?
Yeah.
And then in doing so, it very naturally and in a genuine way allows you to thank the people who are supporting at this reward tier. Right. And then it gets people to always, number one, it gets you to always talk about Patreon in a very genuine, authentic way. But number two, it's very genuine. You're like, thank you guys so much. You're giving me way more money than you should. This is awesome.
If it's like $50 and you get 50 people doing that, do you give all 50 of them a shout out, or do you limit it to
less
it's not
a verbal shout out. It's literally just,
on screen
scrolling credits. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And so during your closeout, you just naturally thank your patrons. When you become a patron, you have the ability to have a thank you message or a thank you video. Your thank you video is your intro video, which I think is totally lame.
Okay.
You need to have a very genuine iPhone video, not right in front of your blah 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 screen, but you sitting on the couch, maybe with your kids. I know you're a huge family man. You just being thank you guys so much. It means the world to me that you support what I do. It's because of you that I get to keep doing this, and it means and say something that's truly meaningful from the heart. And you're establishing that connection right there, because in the end, no matter what, and I tell every single person this, whether you're a musician, whether you're a personality, the only way you're really going to succeed is if you get people to like you for who you are as a person. And I know it means a lot to you to help show good family values and who you are as a person and being a good father. I feel like you can do this simultaneously through your video creators brand, but when you're behind this Patreon community, I think you're allowed to now become both things at once. And so I think your thank you video is the first intro to oh wait, Tim has a family, and how cool is that? So I think that's a great example of thank them. Yeah, they just gave you your credit card. And number two, this is who I am. And this is who I am in a normal setting, not in front of a cool gray screen with great audio, Yeah. Anyway, So I think that's
No,
important.
That's good. Yeah, I haven't even thought about that. So talk about the two different videos then. Do you have like some tips or ideas of how to make a good, because mine's actually hidden right here because I'm logged in, but this is what would show up to someone who's not yet a patron. This video, and then talk about that second video when after someone does become a patron.
Your video is number one, just too long.
Too long. Okay, how long is it here? Let me look. It's 4 minutes 13 seconds.
So in the end, your message gets lost because just like a normal video on YouTube, people's attention spans are, they're smaller. But my point is, get to the point. Tell them really quickly what's Patreon, what your goal is on it, and then probably what they can get from it, right?
Yeah.
And I think you need to be in and out in under 2. And I think there's multiple great examples that Patreon has actually given as demo videos, and we can leave links to that down below, and I can send it to you on email.
And I can go back to my there's a video then, guys, for those of you who might not be aware, that shows after someone pledges to support you. I'm trying to find it here. I'm not sure where it's at. Oh no, it'd be rewards probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So down here is just the thank you video.
And the message is nice, but it should be more personal, in my opinion.
Yeah, let me pull that up here because it's
just the same intro video.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I thought I had a thank you one there. Apparently,
no.
I don't.
You do
I
not.
should just take this one down for now.
I do agree.
That's kind of insulting.
I agree.
I should just keep this message. Thank you. So this is what my thank you page looks currently. Otherwise, you could have a video up here, guys. But yeah. Okay. Well, I've already made one improvement. We haven't even finished our call yet.
Yeah. Then this is kind of going all over the place, but I would go back to your main page. Okay, now go to goals.
Right here.
Your current lowest goal is 1,500. Now go to the right. 3,000, then go to the right. 6,000, go to the right. 10,000, go to the right.
25,000.
Okay. Let me tell you a little something about what I feel the human mind desires. You need to have a goal that is well within your initial reach of where you are, and in my opinion, you should already have goals that you've already achieved. I think it's just one of those things that people want to see you growing. It makes them happy if they're already your patrons, and also the people who are about to be your patrons, they want to help you make it to your next goal.
So should add probably like a $50, $100.
No, not necessarily at this point, but I think for other people who are starting, start smaller, have some smaller ones, and then have realistic ones, and then just think about the fact that you can add goals later, right? Necessarily at this point in time where you're already at 450, adding things that you've already gotten makes no sense.
Okay.
But you could, at this point in time, set a goal for, say, 750, because I think that's much more well within your reach, and that cute little orange line now is going to go a lot farther down once you do that.
Yeah. Makes it look like, all right, he's getting traction. He's going somewhere.
Yes. Can you really quickly go to patreon.com /Peter Hollins? I want to compare the two because I think Peter, Hollens. Bam. So number one, see I have links on the top right. I just think on every social media site of any kind, you should always have that. Okay, go down. Notice how on my Patreon I have images, because I think that it's a tiny bit more tantalizing to the eye to see that and see how I'm like where your money goes. Here's a nice another image. Awesome rewards. Here's another image. I think that it's very important to keep people's eyes
visually stimulated.
Visually happy, right? Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, if you do $15 a video for the year, I'll send you a personalized message, and I give an example, right? And then I'm like, here, this is, I'm showing people the examples, and then I show people my work. I just think it's very important to visually stimulate them. If your Patreon campaign is going to succeed, it's going to succeed because you are a good community manager. Yeah. It's not going to succeed for any other reason. They don't really care that much about all your rewards, because if they really did, they're probably going to go support somebody on Kickstarter. I mean, yes, you're going to have super fans, but I just think it's all about building a community, building that closeness, and you want to have that direct to supporter relationship.
Yeah, and then so I think one thing I'm going to do right when we're done here is I'll just send out a quick message to my 88 patrons and just say, hey guys, thinking about reevaluating some of these perks. What else do you guys want? What else would be valuable to you? And just ask for some feedback and let them just go crazy in the comments, and then just look at all their feedback, right? And come up
Yeah.
with stuff. So.
I would even like lay it all on the table. Be like, this is all of the content I've already created. What would make the most sense to you and I? I'm thinking of doing XYZ, and XYZ might be doing it per content. XYZ might be relaunching the entire thing. I mean, it just depends on how strong you believe that bond is. Go to your dashboard.
My dashboard.
I would go to engagement. By the way, nice growth right there. Looking nice. Okay, so right here, this is I assume this. I think you can see the health of a community on Patreon by how much they are engaging. I think this is a no-brainer for anything, right? You can talk about the same stuff that you already know very well on YouTube. You can have tons of subscribers, blah blah blah. Whether that's, you could associate that with patrons and revenue on here, but if they're not engaging and that watch time isn't very high, let's just make an example.
Right.
Then you don't have a very healthy community. So. You're going to have people engaging with you if you're engaging with them. So I would say every single comment on Patreon, no matter what, should be responded to. Every single one. And here's the reason why. Because they've given you their credit card. And they've entrusted that this relationship is one in which you're going to pay attention to them. So if you're going to Facebook or you're going to YouTube and you're answering comments there before you're going to Patreon, I'm sorry, man, you don't know what the hell is going on, because this is your super fan. This is your community. These are the people that you need to bend over for. Yeah. And not only should you respond to every single comment, but you should be engaging with them, and you should be making that conversation occur. Now let's go to patron exit surveys. Okay.
So basically, for those of you guys who are listening to this later or something, it says the creator wasn't engaging like I expected.
The creator wasn't engaging. I'm not happy with the patrons.
Right.
Okay. So no matter what, you're going to have a lot of people saying my financial situation has changed. Every single one of the people that left because you weren't giving them enough attention, that is literally an unlimited amount of not only revenue, but like a tremendous relationship that you could have lost. That person might have just introduced you to the head of marketing at Pepsi because Pepsi just lost, they hated who was giving them feed. I mean, you never know. You never know. So, and also this is only showing you maybe the 20% of people who actually answered the survey. Right. You should always be paying attention to the exit surveys. You should always be paying attention to your engagement level. You should always be paying attention to whether or not you're gaining patrons month by month. I guess another thing people can do, go to declines. So it looks like you're hovering somewhere between 15 and 20% in declines, which I think is a little high because mine's like somewhere between 7 and 12-ish. So what I do probably once every 4 months. And by declines,
these are credit card processing declines for those of you guys who don't know. So people pledged, but then the card was declined.
Right, and I would attribute most of that to the fact that things happen, cards get compromised. And a lot of the time you kind of need to just email your patrons and say, hey, I just want you to know that I so appreciate your support. It's absolutely amazing. But I wanted to let you know your card's been declined, and it's totally fine if you can no longer support me. I totally understand that. If you're having a financial burden, please use your own money. You don't need to give it to me. But I just wanted you to know. And a lot of the time, you'll pick up 4 or 5% by just going through all your declines. And you can go, if you go to your Patron Manager, which is in your top right.
Oh, top right. Yeah. Patron Manager.
View all patrons. You may or may not want to go there because then you open up emails. But it'll open up the list of people, and it'll show you what's declined. So you can do a really quick Command F and type in declined, and you can see the number of declines versus your patrons, and then you can just literally just email those people.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for all this. I really do appreciate it. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, what your thoughts are on using Patreon for your own channel and how you're using it. Any tips and ideas that you feel like could be helpful for me as I'm developing my own Patreon page better with like your guys' help and with Peter's help and such. And any tips and ideas you guys have, share them with each other. I know you'll learn a lot from each other. Peter, the community here on this channel is awesome. I am learning from them all the time.
So
and
cool.
You guys learn from each other too, so that's cool. Also check out Peter's stuff because he's really good at music, and you can check out his Patreon page also if you want to learn some more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go support Peter. So what I can do is, and this is a thing I recommend you guys, I do this in other places too, find someone who's doing it well, follow them so that you can learn from what they're doing. And the best way to follow, like, and learn what Peter's doing, I do this with other people who do a good job with their email list. For example, I sign up for the email list, but then I just watch, so what kind of content do I start getting from Peter? What's the process that he goes through, like the welcome video, and then how do I see him engaging with the content? It gives you a behind the scenes look at what they're doing so you can start learning from them and replicating them. So I'm going to go do that. And if you guys want to support me on Patreon as I start working through a lot of this stuff and figuring it out, and you want to see the process I'm going through, you know how to do it, right? Patreon.com/video creators. And with your help, maybe I can serve you guys as best as I can over on Patreon, and with your feedback and interaction and everything. Looking forward to doing that with you guys. So if you want to join me over there, that would be awesome. And supporting this work that I'm trying to do for you guys to help you grow your audiences so that you can become financially sustainable and use that sustainability to reach people and impact their lives. So thanks for hanging out. Subscribe if this is your first time here. We're all about helping you guys do that. And I will see you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye.